All right, guys, today we are going to be talking about the Brevite bag, the everyday carry bag. I'm actually really excited about this video because it's the first one on our channel we've ever done specifically on a bag before. Myself and my brother are both huge bag geeks. I'm surrounded by my personal collection of bags, which includes the Peter McKinnon large bag here, which I usually carry most of my camera equipment in. I also have my primary hiking bag, which is the Shimoda Action X2 25 liter right here. It's actually somewhat prepped for a trip as we speak. You know, my everyday carry bag is here as well. This is my Ethnotech bag, and the Brevite bag here is potentially going to sort of replace this bag. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It is full of features to the point of being over-engineered. It is super theft-proof with the 4 buckles here that you have to unclasp just to pull this up, which makes a very loud noise. This is specifically built for international travel, so I'm definitely not going to get rid of it since it keeps everything inside the bag super safe and secure when traveling around a city or something. But that is not really a problem that I personally run into living in the mountains of Colorado. I'm oftentimes not around very many people at all, as you can see. So an even smaller option that gives me a little bit easier access to my equipment would be awesome to have. I do want to say up front that this bag was sent to me by Brevite free of charge. However, no money has changed hands, and potentially even more importantly, they have no say in my opinion on this bag whatsoever. If I love it, that's my prerogative to say so. If I don't love it, I can tell you guys whatever I want. So, one of the things that has always kind of driven me crazy about bag reviews and stuff is I never feel like I really know what the features of the bag are and whether or not they fit my specific requirements for my needs. I mean, a bag is a very personal thing, right? The perfect bag for someone is going to be the worst bag on the planet for somebody else. So let's just do a quick tour of the bag, and this is really my first time going into it too, so we're going to find some surprises. So up front here, we have a little pouch with, it looks like 4 net pockets, and then definitely space in here for something more. I could definitely foresee putting like memory cards and batteries and stuff up here. That would make a ton of sense. Then there's another zipper set. I don't know if you guys can see it right behind that. So we're gonna unzip that and see what's inside. Okay, so that gives us access to the main compartment and the dividers. So dividers like this have become the mainstay, I swear, of like all bag companies in the world. It's windy, so hopefully this isn't wrecking the audio. But basically all of the bags surrounding me, the Peter McKinnon bag over here, Shimoda is using this same style. Ethnotech, the bag over here, was using this exact same style. I mean, this is just across the board. All brands are doing this with these type of inserts. So we'll be customizing that for my specific bag momentarily, my specific needs, if you will. And this seems like a pretty sizable pocket. And it looks like this central pocket is accessible from a few different angles potentially. So I believe this top pocket here also renders access to that same pocket. You can see those little pads down there in there as well. And then I would assume that this side pocket is the same thing. Yep, for side access. Once again, a very popular thing. My Shimoda bag down here literally does the exact same thing as this one does. So that's pretty cool, actually. Looks like there's a little pocket back here. My assumption is this is a wallet pocket or a passport pocket or something like that. The idea being if you have something really valuable like your wallet, you really don't want it to get stolen. This back pocket here is really not super secure. Once again, that's the reason for my Ethnotech bag. So my wallet could go in here, and then, you know, somebody would have to be like reaching around my back in order to access something in this little pocket here. So that's a cool detail that I can see. And then here's the laptop compartment. I was really scared when I first saw the bag if my laptop would fit well in this bag. It fits pretty okay. I have a 16-inch MacBook Pro, as you'll see momentarily. So that's what we're looking at there. A couple other little quick notations about the bag is it does have this nifty airport bag or roller bag sleeve here. So you can put this over the handlebars and get it off your shoulders if you're walking around an airport or using a roller bag in general. That's a really cool feature to have on here as well. You know, otherwise the bag seems fairly minimal. You know, we've got a water bottle pocket on this side, opposite the side with the camera cube access. So yeah, I'm excited to see how my stuff fits. So my review process for this bag, sort of my first go at doing a bag review, is going to be that I'm gonna show you guys all of my everyday carry stuff, the stuff I think this bag needs to carry for me for it to be useful. And then I am going to use the bag for about a week and come back to you guys and tell you what I think. I might even use it for more like 2 weeks if I have some questions or some thoughts that I would like to take a look at. So let's just go ahead and get started by looking at my everyday carry. I'm curious to see how similar it is to your guys' everyday carry. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys would be looking to put in a bag like this. And for future videos, we can kind of look at that as well. But for now, we're just gonna be looking at my personal everyday carry. All right, guys, so this is more or less what I think I would need this bag to carry. This here is a hoodie. I do live in the mountains of Colorado, so the concept that I may need to, the concept that I may want an extra layer if I stay out a little late or need to eat outside or something is very reasonable. This here is a Patagonia hoodie that I just recently picked up. So we have a microphone. Obviously this microphone is oversized for what would be necessary, but it's still a cool microphone. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. There's a whole video about this guy on our channel if you want to check that one out. So then we have a camera. That camera may be this or the A7 IV. I just already had the A7 IV all rigged up. This is the FX30. In this case, I have the 16-35, which is kind of a standard lens for this guy. And so I kind of like this camera. Story for a different day. An extra lens, in this case, I have the 24-105. Just a great flexible, this combo would be really, really versatile in the field. 16-35 f4, 24-70 f4, or 24-105 f4, I should say. Then on the computer side, oh, well, one more thing. We have this here, which is the Peter McKinnon battery pouch. I just find it really useful to have all the batteries in one thing. We have the Peak Design capture clip, which of course would go on the strap of the bag. Memory card wallet, actually pretty important to me since I like shooting like really long clips sometimes of a sunset or something. Having my backup memory cards is a big deal. And then also having a place to store them is really useful as well. And then, of course, underneath all this stuff, we have the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which I will also grab up for you guys to take a look at. So yeah, it's a pretty, like, it's a minimal setup for sure. Like, not a lot of stuff compared to what some other people would bring with them on any given time. You know, of course, there are some things that may get subbed in or out. I may bring my AirPods Pro Max, but I'll probably just use my AirPods Pro, which are in my pocket anyway. So I don't really need headphones as a general rule. So let's go on ahead and let's start packing this stuff into the bag, and we can kind of see how it all fits. So this is a big notation. If you own a laptop that is literally any bigger than my 16-inch MacBook Pro, do not buy this bag. It's almost like they designed it to fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which I would not put it past them to have done. This is a very kind of an obvious thing you might want to be able to pack in your bag. Next up for the front pouch, like I said earlier, I feel like this is the perfect spot for stuff that you might want to grab at a glance. So battery pouch fits perfectly in there. Personally, I feel like this is a great spot for my hard drives because usually all the footage I need is on the hard drives themselves. So being able to toss those in here like this, I think could be really, really nice. My Peak Design bag here, organizer, has a lot of other stuff that would make sense to go in that area, like the charger, which I may also put in this front pouch as well, because that way I can just sit down at the coffee shop and grab everything out without having to open the main cube compartment. So I didn't show this earlier, but there is this pouch right here, and I could totally see throwing something additional in there. Like a great example, this would be this little Loom Cube light, if I knew I was gonna need that. This would also be a good spot for like a passport or something. Something like that, a notebook, if you will, something that you want to be able to access quickly. Snacks are always a good thing to throw in pockets like that. For the rest of this stuff though, if I can keep it in here, I would like to make a spot inside the bag for this, just because it's so handy to have it while you're on the run. So now for the wildest part, and that is solving the main compartment cube. What are we gonna do here? So there we have all of that stuff. So we have just one last pocket. So we essentially made two pockets as opposed to just having the one. Oh, this is cool as well. Something else I missed from the top here is this is a little sleeve for probably something else specific. Oh my gosh. I know exactly what this little sleeve is for. It's to add a separator between the top and the bottom. We're discovering stuff live here, guys. Discovering stuff live, which is perfect. So what I want to do is I want to slip this in because I think this is the thing I would need less likely. And then we're going to put my hoodie in the very top so I have good access to a hoodie. Once again, you could do like a slightly smaller hoodie if you wanted to. I think that would be reasonable. But in this case, we are now fully locked and loaded, with the exception of course, the Peak Design capture clip, which I do want to see how that fits. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we have an extra of these guys. All right, let's try this boy on. Get this on. All right. Well, how does it look? I do like the color, I will say. I think it's a really nice green, looks very foresty, very Woodland Park-esque, if you will. But the capture clip is on here, right up here. Actually, it's handling the capture clip really well. I didn't even know where it was, which is great because like on the Shimoda bags, they're like digging into my arm. I guess that's basically it for this first part of the video. I am now going to go take this bag and I'm gonna go use it for a week, take it on a trip out of state and take it on some coffee shop runs, maybe on a shoot or two, see what my thoughts are. And I'll come back to you guys in a week or maybe two, depending on how much time I need to make up my mind. And yeah, give you guys my final thoughts. All right, guys, so it has now been 3 weeks since I made my initial impressions on the bag, and I have really gotten to take this bag through its paces. I have taken this on a weekend trip, used it as a daily use bag, shot a wedding with this camera bag, as well as even hiked with it some. So I'm excited to let you guys know what my thoughts are for each of those categories and overall. I'm going to be rating the bag out of a 1 out of 5 scale, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, just so that I can kind of help myself and you navigate the pros and cons of this bag in different contexts, and to make it easier to compare this bag to other bags in the future. So let's jump in with the everyday carry. I think this is the most important part of this bag, and that is it as an everyday carry bag. For a lot of us out there, we need our laptops to go to meetings. We need our camera with us just in case, you know? Maybe we just want quite a bit of equipment, but we don't want everything, you know? I don't want my gimbal, I don't want all my lenses, I don't want all my cameras with me at all times. For me, this bag is almost the perfect size. It literally fits my computer perfectly. If it was any smaller, it wouldn't fit. I think this is kind of the perfect middle ground size-wise. I'm able to bring 1, maybe 2 cameras, maybe 1 camera, a couple lenses. I'm able to bring all my hard drives, charging cables, maybe a change of clothes for the gym, you know, all that kind of stuff that you kind of need out of an everyday carry bag. This one provides without being too big. So for me, it gets a 4.5 out of 5. All right, so we've got to talk about hiking with this bag. Not what it is designed for at all, but definitely something that I would use the bag for as my daily bag, and maybe many of you out there would also find yourself on short hikes with this bag as well. So I took this bag on, like I said, about a 3-mile hike, and within the bag I was able to carry a jacket, a bar, I was able to carry my wireless lab system, a shotgun microphone, 2 cameras, 3 lenses, and a tripod on these bottom loops here. See if I can show that. There's some loops here that I was able to attach my tripod to. And that's really all I needed for that particular shoot. This bag was available, so I grabbed it. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 because I think it's good, I guess, for hiking in. It will do a short hike like that for you without really disappointing, but it's really not going to protect your stuff from rain. It does not come with a rain cover. It does not come with a waist strap. These straps are really pretty thin. It's not going to be able to handle a lot of weight for a long period of time. It's, you know, definitely not built for that. That being said, I still think that it's important to me that it is at least good for hiking. And if that's a criteria for you, adventuring with your everyday bag as being a potential option, it's there, but I would say that I've definitely had other everyday bags that would do that a little better. We've got to talk about the wedding I used this bag to shoot. For me, it actually did incredibly well. I loved this bag for the wedding I shot with it. That being said, I have to give it a 3 out of 5 for weddings. Just good. Why is that? It worked really well for me. The reason for the slightly lower rating is I do not think that a fully fledged professional wedding kit is going to fit well in this bag. Even if you could technically fit all the flashes, memory cards, batteries, lenses, cameras you need, it's the actual camera, the actual bag, the straps, the inserts, the zippers, everything on it just is not going to hold up to that professional kind of beating that much weight over that much time, you know, maybe even multiple wedding weekends. It's just not built for that. Something like a Shimoda bag or the Peter McKinnon bag, or honestly, there's so many great options for that type of shooter. It's really, you know, not going to work great for it. What I think I learned from the wedding though is if you do senior portraits, family portraits, slightly more, let's say, relaxed shooting where you have a camera, maybe a couple lenses, maybe you have a jacket or something, a flash. If your system's pretty minimal, pretty lightweight, this bag is perfect for that kind of run and gun photographer. If you're just going to shoot some portraits for a brand, really all you need is 1 camera, a lens, gonna bring that backup lens just in case. You know, I think it's perfect for that. You know, you can have your computer with you to review those photos live or run to the coffee shop right after you get the shots. I mean, for that chiller kind of environment, I really think that this bag would be amazing. All right, it's conclusion time. We have to talk about this bag as a whole. Should you buy it? Who should buy it? all those questions. I think that it really is going to come down to if it fits your gear the right way. This is going to be true about every bag out there, right? Does it fit the stuff you want to put into it? And I really hope that my tour of the bag and then you guys actually getting to watch me pack the bag can help give you an idea for the actual size of the bag. It's really hard to picture how big a bag is, you know, just looking at it on camera. I mean, I have it right here. And whenever I see people like holding bags or whatever, I'm kind of like, it's really hard to tell how big that is, or whether my camera or my lens, or how much I could actually fit of my clothing in the top pouch, or could I use it as a gym bag and a go bag for you know, portrait shoots. It's all about your specific system, but if your gear fits in this bag well, if you have use cases for this bag, then I think it's a knock out of the park. It is 130, which can feel a little steep, but from my perspective, that's dirt cheap compared to most of the other bags I own. My this Brevite bag retails for about $130. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, some of the other bags I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Peter McGinnon bag was like 400 something, as was the Shimoda Action X 25. It's the Action X 25 Mark II, I think is what I have. That was about 400 something with the insert and all of that stuff. My Ethnotech bag actually came in at, I think, a little over $250. All of that combined is just a lot of money to spend on a bag. And you know, each of those have their placements, their purposes in my system, so I don't regret owning them. I'm not getting rid of them. This bag is a partial replacement for only one of those bags. But at the same time, for the price, I think it's great value. Once again, as long as it's not a little too big for your purposes or a little too small. And that's gonna come down to you personally. You know, what are you trying to carry around? And that's what I'm gonna kind of leave it off to you. But for my personal experience, I'm gonna give this bag overall a 4 out of 5. Which is in my mind, a very high rating for this bag. I think it presents good value. It's a great size for me, and I can see using it kind of as a Swiss Army bag, if you will. Being able to use it as a support bag in certain situations, maybe a computer bag on road trips where we're shooting lots of videos and stuff, and I just need a bag with my computer and hard drives and stuff that I can grab at a glance. You know, maybe I'll use it as a whole trip bag, as I have already used it before. Certain situations, you know, hiking, I doubt I'll use it for that a lot, but it's awesome to know it can do it. And for like shooting weddings and stuff, I'll probably default to use some other bags in my collection for most wedding and, you know, bigger shoot opportunities. But once again, it's so cool that it's capable of doing that. So for me, 4 out of 5, I think it's a great bag, and I hope I gave you guys enough information to make an educated choice on your own. With that, thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that like button. It really helps us make more content like this. It's one of the top ways you can support us, to be honest with you. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be making content like this, and honestly, we have so much cool stuff coming up. So I highly recommend subscribing. Myself, my brother, and Brandon all have some super cool ideas. So I think it's worth a sub. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.